All right, welcome back. I'm Jen Dalton.
And I'm Bob Herzog. Thanks for being here on ARC Cincinnati. You know, it's one of the most unique neighborhoods, so of course it would have one of the most unique July 4th celebrations in the tri-state.
Yeah, and earlier this year, we were worried the future of the Northside Parade was kind of at risk. But the parade will step off according to plan, although time may have changed just a little bit. But here to talk about the Independence Day festivities are Becky Finnegan and Aaron Madrigal. Good morning. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Good morning.
Thanks for having us in.
So
glad everything's
right off the top, because we were mentioning when we first saw you guys walk in studio, it's going to happen. It's kind of not going to happen. Well, it's going to happen. We might have to change the route or shorten the route or whatever. But let's just right off the bat start with, it's a go.
It's a go.
Yeah.
It's a rain or shine event. So we're not letting the forecast rain on our parade, so to say. And we're so excited to not only have the parade this year, but we have some changes that we think are going to improve the viewing experience. We have a longer, jam-packed entry list, more than the last 2 years since we've been back from COVID. So we're really excited to kind of show Northside's free spirit that day.
Yeah, for people who have never seen the parade before, and I've been to it many times, tell people what that whole experience is like, because you see there's parts of it that are kind of normal parade, and then there are parts that you might not see things like this in other parades. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, Northside is kind of the eclectic art-based neighborhood for Cincinnati, and all of Northside's quirky residents put their freak flag flying that day. We have some really creative entries every year, and we also have high school bands. We have a group of women in the neighborhood that form the lawn cheerleaders.
Oh, the lawn cheerleaders.
And we have some men who are the men drill team, which maybe is not the traditional drill team you see at a parade. They are men with power drills. Dancing down the street.
Yes.
So you will definitely, there's something for everyone at the parade.
For those who have been sort of year after year, there is a little, doesn't change the distance, but there is a little bit of a change to where the parade is going to end. Talk about that.
That's right. So it's going to end at Palm Avenue, which still borders Hoffner Park, but it used to end at Blue Rock. And we, in a negotiation with the city and CPD, we agreed to kind of cut it shy just a half a block. Because it allows for Blue Rock to stay open. It's a major thoroughfare. Metro buses can still access that side of our transit hub in Northside. So it just allows for the detail required for the police to be a little less.
Gotcha, because they don't have to cover Blue Rock.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, Aaron, you mentioned Hoffner Park.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, in addition to the parade, there's this great tradition of the Northside Rock and Roll Carnival. And that is so much fun, and it's for everybody. There's all kinds of different acts that go on. Can you talk a little bit about that, how long that runs, and what we can see there?
Yeah, of course. So this year, the carnival is immediately after the parade. It's July 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Wow.
So on the 4th, it starts at 1 and goes until 1 in the morning. And then, we had a party in Northside.
I was going to say, it just doesn't stop, does it?
And then Friday and Saturday, it goes from about 4:30 p.m. until 1 a.m. again. And so we've got, like you said, we've got all kinds of acts coming in, not just local or regional, we've got national acts.
Well, it's so many acts to book when you're talking about that long a period of time over each of those days. How long does it take to kind of get all of that set up and organized?
It takes some time.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about it all year long.
Yeah.
So I'm already thinking about next year's and stuff.
Oh, yeah?
And fortunately, we've got a great wealth of local musicians and then regional musicians to draw from. And like I said, some nationals as well. Like, for instance, we've got a couple punk bands coming in this year. We got out of Portland, Oregon, Powwow Punk Band 1876. Coming in from Washington, D.C., we've got Massive Judicial Corruption. If you've got from New York City, we've got Kendra Morris, like a soul singer. She's incredible. Former Cincinnati band now out of Chicago, Mr. Flies.
Okay.
I can go on like last time. I could go on.
You can go because you've got that lineup. Well, you've got a band like that was in Cincinnati before. They're in Chicago now, and you bring them back. How do these other national acts? It's Portland, it's New York. How do they find out about you, or do you find out about them?
I do. So actually this time we've got a local record label, Coal Mine Records.
Okay.
They're based out of Loveland, Ohio, and Kendra Morris from New York is one of their artists.
Oh, rock on. Okay.
And as far as the Portland band, there's the Urban Native Collective here in Cincinnati that deals with a lot of indigenous population issues and people and such, and they were the ones that brought 1876 to me. They really wanted to see them in town, and it lined up perfectly. It made sense.
Yeah.
So we're having them in.
And they're in the parade too this year. The Urban Native Collective
neat.
Cool.
is an entry in the parade.
Very cool.
Great. Well, why is it so important to keep this tradition going? I think, we've seen around Cincinnati people fighting for these certain things, like the Alt Park fireworks were going to go away, and people just rallied and made that happen. And the Northside parade, not that it was going to maybe go away, but it was going to be a lot different. Why is this so important to Northside?
Well, this is our 170th year of the parade this year.
Wow.
It started in 1854. And I think neighborhood events are what bring people to Cincinnati. We have so many people who tell us, I moved to Northside after I went to the parade.
That's cool.
It's just something that makes the neighborhood unique. It's special to the parade. I've always said the parade, 4th of July is the best day to be a Northsider. The second best is every other day of the year.
Yeah.
Nice, very nice. For people who need to know times and dates, and are you taking any more entries and just all of that kind of thing? Sort of break on nuts and bolts stuff for us.
Yeah, our entry list is final. So we are set. We have 69 acts that are going to line down Hamilton Avenue. It starts at 11 a.m. this year, which is an hour earlier. We made that change because we wanted it to take advantage of some of the cooler temperatures you normally have in the morning, as opposed to the hottest part of the day.
Yeah, maybe hold off that rain until later in the day,
we
too.
hope so.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
None of that stuff.
Yeah, no rain.
And we're also having wellness stations up and down the parade. So if you go to our website or our Facebook page, you can get a map. We'll have wellness stations where we'll be handing out water. We'll have shade available. Hopefully we'll need the shade. We want some sunny skies to pop up. And we're just hoping that folks really come out and enjoy this event. We have over 70 volunteers who have stepped up to make it happen.
That's awesome.
And that's so huge.
The Northsiders will step up.
Gotta
When there's a
have those
need, they
people
will step
willing to
up.
dive in.
I gotta say, just to make sure everyone knows real quick, so it's Community Council that puts on the Northside Parade, and they've been doing this for quite a while, and they put a lot of effort into doing what you do. Thank you. And then it's the Northside Business Association that produces the Rock and Roll Carnival. And this year we've put a lot of collaboration into making it a really successful weekend overall.
You gotta have a lot of people willing to work pretty hard to pull off an event like this. So congratulations
Thank you.
on it still being around
Yeah.
after 170 years.
Always
so.
being great, yeah.
And we'll get a link up with more of that information, by the way, at local12.com. Thank you both so much for coming in. Sure, you could stop watching now, but let's be honest, you want to see more. So click some of those links, or better yet, go ahead and tap subscribe. That way you'll catch more content from Local 12.